little bit of update on yesterday and trying to anticipate for tomorrow. So you'll hear me talk about things in the context of Storm 1 and Storm 2. Obviously yesterday into this morning, pretty much yesterday, was Storm 1. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I think many of you already know that the Streets Department started yesterday, Sunday morning at 5 a.m. salting the streets of the city. It's what we call a dry process. The Streets Department started with 74 pieces of equipment. Last night there were 130 pieces of equipment and of course a comparable appropriate number of personnel with that equipment. We use 7,500 tons of salt. In case you're wondering, we have plenty of salt, so you don't need to ask about that. Predicting the weather, as all of you know, and I think all of your stations know, and all your meteorologists know, is very difficult. Storms change rapidly, and of course we then adjust to them. But our Streets Department was quite mobile, if you will, and very nimble. I give great credit to our Streets Department and their leader, Dave Perry. Ryan Cutler's with us, and we'll hear from a couple other folks. But I think as the storm was literally changing in real time, they were also changing their tactics as well to adjust to it. And a great job by public employees, especially over in the Streets Department, dealing with yesterday into last night and this morning. So, storm number 2. So first I will tell you, in the last 2 hours, I've received at least 2 different amended reports. So 2 hours ago, I would have told you that we were anticipating first another low pressure system that's going to ride up the jet stream, providing snow through the day tomorrow. I want you to let all your meteorologists know that none of them are in danger. I am actually reading this from my notes. I don't have a green screen yet, so everybody's safe. We're anticipating possibly, this was 2 hours ago, 2 to 5 inches. That snow was going to start by mid-morning tomorrow, toward the end of the morning rush, and end sometime toward the end of the evening rush. That changed about an hour ago. The timing now, which is totally unpredictable, could have an earlier start, possibly in the 7 to 9 a.m. Start time, and could possibly end somewhere in the 6 to 8 p.m. Time frame, which of course both of those times run you right into the heart of morning rush and evening rush. I think the bottom line as we stand here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is we don't exactly know what the storm is going to do. It was unpredictable yesterday and unpredictable a bit today. All of this could lead to snow combined with sub-freezing temperatures. You know we're going to be below freezing, of course, tonight, and that could result in refreezing of water on untreated roadways. Here's our current plan. We shut down yesterday's operation at about noon today to give our crews some rest. We will keep 2 crews on overnight for emergency response in case anything bad happens. Temperatures are anticipated to be above freezing during the course of the day. You've all been out, so you know that. We'll start our operations again at midnight tonight, calling for a full deployment at midnight, and we will dry salt again. This will take care of residual ice that's left from storm number 1, as well as a pre-treatment for storm number 2. We'll supplement our forces also with contractors who work with the city so that problem areas, especially up in the high hills of the northwest section of the city, which were colder yesterday than down in South Philadelphia, can get addressed early. And we're prepared to plow in the event that we get more than 2 inches of fresh snow. The challenge here again is the ice, rain, snow, and the refreezing process. Sometimes, as again I know all of you know, you get ice that binds to the asphalt. Even when the new snow is on top of it, you can plow the snow. It doesn't work as well with ice once it literally binds to the asphalt. That is a challenge, not only here but everywhere else. Regular operations. Trash was picked up today. We expect trash to be picked up tomorrow. Residents are reminded, please shovel a 3-foot walkway in front of your home within 6 hours of the end of a weather event. And lastly, for classic Philadelphia style, while you're shoveling your sidewalk, do not throw the snow back out into the street, which of course compromises the work that the Streets Department has already done and creates more problems. There were certainly some interesting comments overnight from many of your stations. Storm was a shock. Storm definitely threw us a curveball. The storm grew quickly. We were all expecting some snow, but not at the level that we received. And so that's that part of the story. Storms, to some extent, not exactly total science. You do the best job you can with the information you have and make judgments along the way. We'll hear from Dave Perry, Streets Department, and Veronica at the airport, and close up with Sam Phillips, and then I'll come back. Sam is, of course, the manager of the Office of Emergency Management. All partners in this work. Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight, as the mayor said, we will be deploying at midnight. We will have approximately 160 pieces of equipment out on the streets of Philadelphia to pre-treat the streets for the next coming storm and to take care of any residual slush and ice that remains from the first storm. Available to answer any questions that you have. And
Are you brining?
no, we won't be brining tonight because the streets are wet. Brining works best on a dry surface.
Only before we get the questions, when we get Victoria, get Sam, and then we'll come back for a full round of questions.
Hi, Victoria, from the airport. We'll be treating the runways, the roadways, and any paved surfaces leading to the airport tonight and tomorrow in anticipation of any precipitation. Certainly the airlines are communicating with their passengers, but we urge all travelers to contact their airline or visit our website, phl.org, or call our toll-free flight information number, 1-800-PHL-GATE, for up-to-date arrival and departure information. We also have a free cell phone waiting lot if you find that you're traveling to the airport to pick someone up. That parking lot has 3 flight information display monitors in it, so we urge everyone to be careful, cautious, and contact your airline.
Are you still dealing with residual problems from yesterday, or things back up to normal this morning?
We are experiencing a slight arrival delay due to low ceilings, but the airlines reported they were trying to maintain normal operations again. But we did get many of the flights out. We had flights as late as 1 a.m., but our goal was to get passengers where they needed to go and work with the airlines to do that.
Sam?
Hi, Sam Phillips from the Office of Emergency Management. We're just continuing to coordinate across city agencies and with quasi-government partners such as the school district, provide support to the Streets Department as needed. This is a great time to just give a preparedness plug. This was a minor storm, but we might see other storms throughout the rest of the winter. So people should take some time now to be prepared with having emergency supplies and plans to check on friends and loved ones. And we'll have a well-prepared winter season. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions?
The decision to continue the trash collection tomorrow,
Yeah.
how are you able to do that if you've got all the vehicles out tonight at midnight?
Dave, you want to talk about that?
Sure. Generally, we deploy trash trucks to do snow plowing operations when the snow is expected to be 6 inches or more. At this point in time, we don't expect that heavy of a snowfall, so we don't anticipate any impact on rubbish and recycling collections.
I'm sorry, what are you using then? Just smaller trucks that have plows?
Yeah, we use our highway equipment. They're large tri-axle vehicles. We'll be doing the plowing operations, about 74 of those vehicles available.
The mayor said you
Mike,
had a lot of...
But Mike, I think your question also goes to another issue, which is, again, the flexibility of the Streets Department, and one area that I didn't touch on, which is, of course, our coordination with the school district. So overnight, there'll be a lot of conversations about the storm, about the forecast. We'll be watching all of you. We'll talk to the National Weather Service, 9 million times, to try to, really pinpoint how we utilize resources. So that issue, that's the plan for today. We expect that we're going to be able to pick up trash tomorrow. If something goes very different than where we're predicted to be, here at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we will then have to make that adjustment. And as equipment comes in, even the sanitation vehicles, the trash trucks, we might have to put a plow on them. All of those decisions are part of a larger conversation that will take place overnight. As I mentioned earlier, within the hour forecast that, for instance, the start time on this may now have moved up to 7 to 9 a.m. as opposed to a later start after the rush hour is pretty much done, that does raise a question about school and kids and buses and all of those kinds of issues. That's a decision that gets made very early in the morning. So tomorrow morning, very early, there'll be a series of conversations, again, based on best information available, vehicle accessibility, drivers, et cetera, and just what the conditions may be at the time when school children and SEPTA are trying to do their best to provide that service. So I can't tell you where, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know that any of you want to make that prediction either. But the point is that that's the coordination that goes on. Those decisions usually don't get made under this circumstance until very early the morning of.
Can you talk about some of the problem areas, the typical problem areas, and what people who live in those areas should really be doing to help out the streets department as they try to navigate through those neighborhoods tomorrow?
Well, you know, one of the things that we always try to emphasize, I tried to communicate this last night. I may not have done the best job. When we ask for folks, for instance, for last night's event, when we say to folks, unless you really need to be out tonight, it's helpful if you're not out on the road. What that really is about is that moment. The fewer vehicles that are out on the street when our folks are out plowing, the better it is for us, and makes it potentially, at least depending on what's going on, makes it better for the next morning. If the streets are clogged with cars and other vehicles, while our vehicles are trying to move around them, we're just not as efficient. We're not covering as much territory. So, you know, it's this is a well-experienced team. We have a plan. We actually do know what we're doing. The challenge is the weather hardly ever cooperates with us, and you know we're always subject to its whims. So I mean that's the story for the moment. But I think you know the city actually has different elevations. If you live up in the far northwest, for instance, and it's a hilly area, and you get ice, and it's you know 30 degrees, 25 degrees, whatever the case may be, you can put down all the salt you want. And this is chemistry. You know, if you're not near the freezing point, a little below or a little above, salt's not going to do a whole lot for it. You can put it down, nothing's going to happen. And if there's no traffic or activity, to grind that salt into the ice, the pressure breaks the ice up, and then you get the separation that I was talking about earlier. So the challenges are, it was colder in the northwest than it was in South Philadelphia, and there was more snow in South Philadelphia than there was in many other areas of the city. So this is a very strange storm, happened quicker than anyone anticipated and moved very quickly and dumped more snow in a shorter period of time than anybody predicted. So that's what happened.
Thank you.
Thanks. Jim?
So,
We may be back to you a little later on today.
Karina gets to stay home? So Phila?
Oh yeah, she's hanging out. Yeah. No, we get her.
This is the first storm that she gets out?
We get